Welcome to today's shoulder workout. So last week we filmed 3 of my favorite chest workouts using just dumbbells. I picked 3 effective movements that weren't basic or too fancy, things that I felt like weren't something that everybody's seen a million times, but also are very effective and the reason why I work them into my routine. So thank you to everybody that gave us a great feedback on that. That's why we're filming shoulders today. So I'm gonna pick 3 more movements for shoulders right in the middle of this workout. So I just got done with some press on the hammer strength, and now for the dumbbell portion, we're gonna film this and I'm explaining these to you guys. The other thing I wanna preface is my nose is burnt to hell from skiing this weekend. So bring on the Rudolph comments. First dumbbell movement. We are going to take a simple side raise. So first, let's go over what we're focusing on when we do a side raise. My arms are not locked, they're just slightly bent. I'm wanting to think that I'm throwing this weight through that wall and this weight through that wall. And what I also want to do, which is a huge mental cue for me that I've really put into effect lately and I'm getting great results out of it, is I want to start squeezing up from the bottom instead of trying to feel like I'm getting the squeeze at the top. It's squeezing here as I'm throwing those weights through the wall, and that's where I get really good delt activation. Okay, so delt leads, elbow follow, then the wrist. So what we're gonna do here to kind of mix these up, you've already seen side raises a million times. So here's one of my go-tos that I really like to do. So I'll hit my reps here with the heavier weight first. Then what I'm gonna do to force more blood into the muscle is I'm gonna flex my shoulders for like 10 seconds. You can either flex them like this, put them behind like this and press against your back like that. Try to pull your fingers apart. There's a bunch of different ways you can kind of flex your shoulders here without having to draw a ton of attention to yourself in the gym if you're in a public gym. But I'm trying to throw a ton of blood, force that blood into the muscle. Now what I'm gonna do is go into a drop set. So now I'm already getting blood sent to the muscle during the reps. Just force more blood in there by flexing for 10 seconds, dropping to a lower rate or weight, and hit more reps. So squeezing that weight up, no bounce here with my body, chest is up. It's like those shoulders are on strings and a puppeteer just pulling those strings, making those shoulders do the work. We don't want to do this. This is a very common mistake. We've got to lead with the shoulder. So our shoulder's higher than our elbow, than our wrist. So that's kind of the differentiation that I put into play there, is adding more time there flexing than going into a drop set. So nothing invented new there. It's just incorporating more time under tension with a simple side raise. Okay, so next movement, we're going to do a seated Arnold press. Not knocking the basic shoulder press, it's just adding a little extra sauce to make it that much more effective and the burn that much more intense. So when we're doing a normal shoulder press, we want to make sure our shoulders and everything's here feeling like we're in line and our elbows are slightly forward. I don't want them flared back. I want them right here in a strong position. And then as the weight comes up, the weight is moving towards each other. They don't need to touch or anything, but that's gonna help me with the squeeze here. So I'm controlling it down, squeezing back up. So that's your basic shoulder press. Now, this is where Arnold took the basic shoulder press and kicked it up a notch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the weight towards our body, and I'm gonna do it with the weight here next, but I just wanna explain it to you guys first. We're making sure our chest is up. This has a little bit of an arch to it, but it's still up enough. It's targeting my shoulders and not really hitting my upper chest. If it was any farther back, it would get too much upper chest involved. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm starting with the weight, so I'm gonna be facing, my palms are facing towards my body. As I'm going up, my pinkies are turning away from each other, and then I'm pressing the movement up. Once I get to here, I'm just going in the opposite direction down, pinkies turn in, getting that full stretch, activation through this shoulder, and then pressing back up. Now let's add the weight. So if this is your first time doing these, let's say 50s are normally what you would do for a regular overhead shoulder press. Start a little bit lighter until you get used to this movement because it's more difficult and usually you gotta use a little bit lighter weight. So when we're doing this, as I said, starting with our palms facing towards our body, pinkies are going out, pressing up. And then we just want to get into our rhythm here. Controlling our breathing. Still, as you'll see when I press, how those weights are going towards each other. That's giving me a better squeeze in my shoulder. Controlling it down, not in a hurry here. This is a finesse movement. We don't want to get in a hurry and put weird tension in our shoulder. Everything is good and under control. The movement itself is already plenty challenging enough. So we want to challenge ourselves with the weight selection and with control. So in regards to rep ranges here, I want to put it into the context of what is your target? What's your goal with your fitness journey? So if you're trying to work on strength, then you're wanting to hit lower reps, a heavier weight. When you're trying to work on size, shape, muscle definition, those things, that's where we need to introduce volume reps, so higher volume reps. As I said when we first started doing these Arnolds, you want to use a little bit less weight here than you normally would on a shoulder press. So this really isn't a movement that I'm gonna do 4 or 6 reps of. This is more of a shape, size, hypertrophy type movement. So if you're wanting to build strength in your shoulders, I would more so suggest going with like a straight bar military press or even just a regular dumbbell shoulder press. And as I said, lower reps, heavier weight, still controlled, that's always the key. Maximizing the weight we're using under control. That being applied to this workout, if this was too heavy, I might be fine through the press part, but when I'm turning in here, not being able to control that heavy weight is not something we want. So I would stick to at least probably 8 reps here. I like to go in that 12 to 16 rep range on these. And sometimes I'll mix it up, maybe 8 reps of heavier weight and then move down and go into that 12 to 16 range, throw that blood on, just tear that tissue up. Okay, this next movement could be done either seated or standing. I'm choosing to do them standing today. This is a really good example of a movement where I did not prioritize form and control of the weight properly. I was using too heavy of weight, so what that was doing was forcing me to swing that up to be able to get the weight up instead of squeezing it up. So I say that because I want you to pick weight that you can control. That's the emphasis here. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna add a little bit into this to help force us to stop swinging. I guess technically you could start a swing again, but you'll see what I mean when we get into it. So we're gonna alternate, so it's nothing fancy, it's just alternating on each side. But the reason why I like to alternate is I'm gonna squeeze this side up, and then I'm dead rest here. Now I'm going to the other side. And unless I bring that arm back to start a swing, this is at a dead stop, so that means I have to squeeze from here. So that's our form. Just nice, quiet, and still by our sides, squeezing through that front part of the shoulder. So when we go overhand, it's more here through our delt. When we're here, I'm wanting to, you'll see how this activates when I squeeze that up. Back down, nice and controlled, and we squeeze back up. Show the other side, same thing. Wanting to feel it right here in our shoulder. So we got a hammer grip, thumbs going up. And I just really sold myself short for years by swinging that up instead of squeezing it up. And I started to see a difference in the shape of my shoulders. Okay, so I'm moving those out of the way there, and we're gonna hit a finisher here. We did this at the end of the chest workout, and a lot of you guys really like this. If you haven't an opportunity yet, go check out that video. That finisher there was a push-up finisher. Basically what I call a finisher is exactly what it sounds like. It's to finish the workout, but I want it to really push us to the point we feel like we gave our all and that we didn't leave anything else in the gym and that we really did what we could to make the most out of this workout. So all I have here is a band and a jump rope. Now, because I said these are my workouts with dumbbells, technically you could still do this. So don't call me out for that. I'm just choosing to do it with a band instead. You could do this with dumbbells and just do lateral raises, but we already did lateral raises with dumbbells. And I feel like the tension on my shoulder when I do side raises with a band and then right into these jump ropes, as you're gonna see, it just really, really gets the blood going in my shoulders and has constant tension there. I just have the band under one of my legs and my shoulders are in the same position they would be in as if we were doing them with dumbbells. My chest is up and then I'm just doing a side raise. Same exact thing is when we're using dumbbells. We wanna lead with our shoulders. It's like we're throwing the back of our hands through those opposite walls. Chest stays up. All that tension's in the shoulder. Shoulders leading the movement. And the elbows and wrists follow. Trying to keep our traps out of it as much as we can and keep the tension in our delts. Strong wrist. When you're doing with a band, it's easy to kind of get into a habit of letting your wrist break, and I do that even sometimes. So we gotta make sure we're grabbing that band. If it doesn't have handles, using a strong grip and letting those delts just get lit up. So then when you get done with your reps there, you're going right into your jump rope. So now, this is a weighted jump rope. So it's still gonna be stimulating my shoulders, and then just the movement of jump roping after you just hit a bunch of raises is gonna light those shoulders up even more. But this isn't really where it gets difficult. Where it gets difficult is you don't get any rest. This is your rest when you're doing your side raises. So now after we just got done with those jump ropes, I haven't really gotten a break. My shoulders are filling up with blood. Getting a crazy pump going. And that's why we just keep going try to go 3 or 4 rounds there at least. No break, band, jump rope, band, jump rope, band, jump rope. That'd be 3 rounds. And I promise you, you'll be feeling like you gave your all. So quick shameless plug. Wanted to wait until after we showed you the meat of the workout, so you don't have to watch this in the beginning, you can just jump right into it. But if you're still here, thank you. This is what I took for this workout. This is my brand Lifted Lifestyle. Super simple setup here, nothing fancy. Pump and pre combo here to start our sour gummy pump, sour watermelon max pre. This is a high stem pre with 300 milligrams of caffeine. We have a lower stem one that has 150, but I like the high stem. So I mixed these two together. This has 6,000 milligrams of L-citrulline, so the pump on this is just nuts. And then this is one of my favorite products. We talked about this in the chest day video. This is just a BCA plus Aquamin electrolytes, so it helps you with your hydration. And this is actually our #1 seller now. It's our new fruity cereal protein. It just smells so incredible. It tastes like you're eating Fruit Loops. I actually mix it with almond milk. I don't even use real milk, and it just still tastes amazing. So this is just the lineup for today. This is sitting here because it always sits here. I put that on my story yesterday. This is our natural fat burner, and I'll just pop one of these when I'm doing cardio right there on the treadmill, or I'm doing abs over here. So this bottle literally sits here at all times because I just take one a lot of times, like I said, when I'm doing abs or cardio. So really appreciate everyone that shows support to the brands. By no means obligated, anything like that. We always appreciate it. We take a lot of pride in our products, especially these new flavors and stuff we're working on. And I got a couple new ones that are in the works right now on a project I'm really excited about that I'll share with you guys soon. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed the workout. Thank you if you waited till this long. I appreciate your support of me, our brands, everybody involved that makes this possible. That includes you, so thank you.